We hear a lot about the growing crisis of substance abuse in Jammu and Kashmir. But beyond the headlines, what are the numbers actually telling us? So today, we're going to jump right into the official data to really understand the scale of the problem, find out where the hotspots are, and see what's being done about it.
Let's just start with this one, stark number 32,517. So what is this? Well, this is the official count of substance abuse patients who have been registered for treatment in Jammu and Kashmir since just 2022. It's a huge figure, so let's unpack what's really behind it.
Okay, a number that big, over 32,000, it obviously makes you ask some questions. First things first, where is this data even coming from? To really get what it means, we have to know the source.
So where are we getting all this info? It's all coming from one official place, government-run addiction treatment facilities, or ATFs for short. You can think of these as the front lines in this fight against addiction. It's where patients get registered and receive care. This gives us a solid, verified baseline to work from.
All right, so we've got our total number, and we know where it's coming from. The next logical question is, where are these cases located? Let's start by splitting the map into the two main divisions, Kashmir and Jammu. And honestly, the distribution might not be what you'd expect.
I mean, just look at this. It is almost a perfect 50-50 split. The Kashmir division has registered 16,759 cases, and Jammu is right there behind it with 15,758. This tells us something absolutely crucial right off the bat. This isn't a problem that's just in one part of the region. It is a territory-wide challenge for sure.
So even though the problem is spread pretty evenly between the two divisions, that doesn't tell the whole story, right? Broad numbers like that can easily hide local hotspots. So let's zoom in a bit to the district level, and we'll start with Kashmir to see where this crisis is hitting the hardest. And bam, right away, one area just leaps off the page. In the Kashmir division, Srinagar is clearly a major focal point, with 6,100 cases. That's almost 3 times the number of the next districts on the list. Now, as the region's biggest city, this probably has to do with population density, but it also just screams that there's a critical need for focused services right there. Now, when we shift over to the Jammu division, the picture looks, well, it looks really different. The story here isn't spread out across several districts in the same way. Instead, it's incredibly concentrated in one single place. Get ready for this number, 9,806. This one figure accounts for more than half, actually, it's closer to 2/3 of all the registered cases in the entire Jammu division. So where on earth is this huge concentration coming from? And it turns out it's all coming from one institution, the Government Medical College in Jammu. The ATF there has registered a massive 9,806 cases. In a way, this makes sense, right? GMC Jammu is the main hospital for the whole division, so it's the referral center where cases from all the surrounding areas would likely end up.
So when you see numbers like this widespread crisis on one hand and these intense, concentrated hotspots on the other, it brings up a really obvious and urgent question. With a problem this big, what is the official response? What's actually being done?
Right. So, with the problem laid out so clearly, with numbers this high and hotspots so concentrated, how are officials actually tackling this? Well, the government's response is really built on a multi-layered approach to try and hit this issue across the whole region. Okay, the government's game plan here really breaks down into 3 main parts. First is all about access. The goal is to have an addiction treatment facility in every single district so that help is never too far away. Second, they're plugging into this big national campaign, the Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, or Drug-Free India campaign, which brings in more resources for awareness and community outreach. And third, there's this ongoing commitment to just keep improving things, everything from the buildings themselves, like adding more beds, to the quality of counseling and long-term rehab. All right, so we've looked at the scale of the problem and the basic framework of the response. Let's kind of zoom out now and think about what all of this means for the road ahead, not just for the region, but for the thousands of people who are trying to get help. So let's just put it all together here. On one side, you have this immense challenge, over 32,000 cases since 2022, with these huge hotspots in Srinagar and at GMC Jammu. And on the other side, you have the action, a growing network of treatment centers boosted by national campaigns and a promise of ongoing support. You can really see the battle lines being drawn. And that leaves us with this final, really important thought. The data. Yeah, it shows a crisis. But you know what else it shows? It shows tens of thousands of people reaching out for help. So these numbers tell a story of addiction, but they also represent the very first step toward healing. The real question now is, what does that long road to recovery look like? Not just for one person, but for an entire community.